Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 2024 with the 2013 mod. It is time for round 3 of this series, still in our first season, as we head to China. Hello, so here we are then at China, ready for round 3. We have our slightly different lineup of Michael Schumacher and Jenson Button. So we're kind of breaking from what actually happened in 2013. So we brought Michael out of retirement, out of mothballs, and stuck him in a McLaren, which means that Perez, unfortunately, does not have a drive this year. But who knows? He may well pop up on the grid next season. But yeah, this is our minimum three-season series where we're going to try and get Michael Schumacher world title number 8, which might sound quite easy in the grand scheme of things, given that we're at McLaren. But I mean, this is a McLaren that is in decline. This is a McLaren that is definitely not up to the pace of Red Bull or Mercedes or Ferrari, and kind of not even up to the pace of Lotus at the moment. So maybe sort of 5th best team on the grid. This is definitely going to be a challenge to get him up there, because we've got to get a car good enough for him to be able to compete, and the performance gulf is quite vast from the top to the bottom of the grid here in 2013. So this is not going to be an easy challenge. This is going to be something that we are going to have to push for. I think our best chance is going to be in season 3 with the big rules reset that will come at the end of the 2025 season. We're in 2024 at the moment. Game still thinks it's in 2024 despite it actually being 2013. So yeah, we know we've got a big rules reset coming up at the end of next season. I'd like us to try and challenge before then and not have to rely on maybe just getting things right with the research, but we'll have to see how we do. Evening Army, evening Dino, evening Tahiti. Hello to everyone else who is lurking in the chat as well. Trying out yet another slightly different camera angle tonight. Got the webcam a little bit lower and a little bit more central on my desk. So hopefully it's not going to obscure my vision of what I'm actually trying to look at. But yeah, trying to find a more comfortable viewing angle. Something that's going to make it easier for me to actually look at the camera, rather than craning my head up like this or looking over there, or, you know, trying to find something a little bit more natural. So we'll see how we get on. So here we are then, round 3. Let's take a quick look at the car situation. So this is where we stand in terms of the in-game suggested stats. Now we have got a brand new upgrade on the car, I think. Let's take a quick look, shall we? So yeah, we've got a couple actually. We've got new chassis, new side pods, and a new suspension, but we've only got one of each. We have given them all to Michael. Button is going to have to wait for those upgrades. Let's see how long he's going to have to wait for those. Let's go to our build queue. So we are 7 days away from our next chassis. We are 1 day away from a rear wing, which we will also be able to put onto Michael's car on Saturday in time for qualifying, although I may hold off on that one. And then we are 3 days away from getting another suspension and chassis. Suspension and side pod. Those are for Jenson, and they won't be ready till the day after the Grand Prix, unfortunately. So yeah, he'll have to hold off until the next race, which is, where is the next Grand Prix after this one? Let's take a gander at the calendar. That'll be Bahrain. So he will have those upgrades for Bahrain. But tonight he's going to have to make do with the car as is. So there'll be a little bit of a performance delta difference, as you can see, if we compare car 1 and car 2 that way. Let's do it the more traditional way as well. Let's take a look at... Where is McLaren? There they are. Oh, that's Ferrari. There we go. Let's do it this way as well, so we can see the actual differences in terms of performance. So a little bit of extra speed for Schumacher. We've got a little bit of extra acceleration as well. DRS is improved by about 2.5%. A nice little bit of extra downforce in low, medium and high speed there across the board effectively. No change to dirty air performance, that's still 60%, but tyre wear has improved by about 6% for Michael as well, so that'll be quite nice. Slight deficit in engine cooling. This is down to the fact that most of these upgrades are basic upgrades that have been pre-designed before we started this save, so we didn't have much control over those, but we did have some choice, and we decided to keep them. The rear wing, I can't remember how much of a change the rear wing is. We've got space to get some new upgrades started. Let's see. So we need to do a front wing and an underfloor. They're the two upgrades that I'm missing. We'll start with a front wing. Now that we've got some upgrades on Michael's car. I was going to wait till we've got the rear wing, wasn't I? I remember now. So the camera just needs to... gesture, is it? Press the button. The tracking on my camera has turned itself off. Okay, well, I'll have another play with that in a second. Let's crack on then with the Grand Prix. So targets for tonight. Let's have a look. 6th or higher for Michael, with a car that's currently ranked 7th on the grids. I think we can do that. And then 10th is the car ranking for Jensen. Might play it a little bit safer and go 9th for Jensen. I mean, we're normally pretty good at China, so let's go for it. Let's go 7th. And off we go to China.
We're just getting settled here in Shanghai, ahead of the Chinese Grand Prix. A visit to Shanghai International Circuit can only mean it's time for the Chinese Grand Prix. This state-of-the-art track combines high G-force corners with one of the longest straights on the calendar, and with space for up to 200,000 spectators, not a minute of action will be missed. After taking the win in the previous race, Red Bull will be hoping to push for another strong finish. It won't be easy though, with plenty of competitors fighting them for the points. Okay then, let's get to it.
Right, let's get straight into it, shall we? So, we need to put some setups on the car. Let me check car parts. Yes, we need to change the engine for practice already. And then ERS is fine. And gearbox, yeah. We're only 2 rounds in and we're already on gearbox number 2 and it's down to 74%. It's not been the best of starts for Michael. And then we should be fine still on the original parts for Jensen. Yes. And yes. Evening, Thomas. How was my weekend? Pretty quiet. It's very tired on Saturday. Kind of slept some weird hours over the weekend. Ended up watching the WrestleMania on Daily Motion. So I'm a little off kilter with my normal kind of sleeping hours. But yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Did a little bit more sort of running with the 2026 mod. I forgot to check out Vegas. I forgot to check out Vegas and the Sphere. But I had to strip everything out and get everything prepped for our regular stuff. So it'll be a while now until I get to test that again. So hopefully I'm not going to miss out on too much fun. How's everyone else getting on with the mod? Everyone else having some fun with it? Or are you not there yet? Let's go with that, I think, for Michael. And Jensen a little bit more on the front. Can we go with 2.8? Let's go with a touch less camber, a touch less toe, and let's hit the track. There we go. Alright, looks like we do have some rookies running. We will go through those in just a second. Let's get our driver instructions settled first. There we go. Camera's turned itself off again.
Stay off the curbs.
Yeah, that's the downside to repositioning it, is that it's a bit more temperamental down here. There we go. Let's zoom it in a bit. Extreme close-up. Ah! Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's speed the boys up a bit. There we go. So Army and Dino both enjoying the mod so far. Army is being Ferrari. Yeah, it's a good choice. I mean, that Macarena wing, it is very nice, isn't it? So I can understand that. I think when we do our series, I'm going to start with Aston. I'm going to start with Aston. I'm going to make sure that they are probably even worse than they are at the moment, and really try and rebuild Aston Martin. So that'll be interesting to see if we can get that done. I think that'll definitely be an interesting challenge. Trying to turn Aston Martin finally into a championship contender. Especially considering how bad the Honda engine is. Plus, it'll really give us an opportunity to try out the engine turning points integration with the database editor as well. So, I think, yeah, that's going to be the team that we'll go for. We're still a little way off that ourselves at the moment. We've got this series running, and this is literally only just started last week. And we have our other Cadillac series, which is currently 7 rounds to go. So that's another 3 to 4 weeks, unless we finish it off with a weekend stream, which I might do, in which case it will be 3 weeks before we can then wrap that series up in its entirety and then replace it with the new 2026 DLC mod. So little way yet until we can run it as a proper series, but I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. Can't wait. First day sack Stroll. I'm not going to set myself an impossible task of trying to make Stroll a world champion, but that's something I need to check, actually, so whether Stroll has been suitably nerfed in the database editor for that. In fact, I might be able to check that now, actually. Let's get our feedback in first of all. We might be able to actually check that, because I do still have the save file, so I should be able to import that into the online database editor. Let's see, setup satisfaction is only good, which is not good. 73%. Ooh, bit of work needed there. Definitely a bit of work needed there. $95 for Jensen. That's much, much better. Gonna leave Michael out for an extended run because his car part knowledge is really bad, given that we put 3 new parts on his car. So he definitely needs to stay out for this entire run. Jensen, I can probably call in now, actually. Let's get him in and take a look at the car. Wow, which way do I want to go? Let's go down to a 2.5. How much do I need to find? 5%. So that is almost there. That gives me a small movement there, slight little movement there. That might be it. We'll try it. We'll try it. Evening, Wayne. And while that's going on, let me pop a browser. And let's open up the database editor. Let's take a look at the 2026 save. And let's take a look at Stroll's stats. 80 overall. What's his adaptability? Down to 83. That's good. That's better than it was originally. I'd say that's a pretty fair reflection for Stroll. Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty fair reflection, considering he's normally like up in the 90s for adaptability, and better off here as well. He's normally like an 82, 83, 84, something like that. So, yeah, I think that's a more realistic sort of approach to his stats there. All right, there we go. Michael is in. Let's take a look. We've got a lot of work to do on this one. All right, let's take that down to an 11. Let's push that out to a 1.9. I'm not sure that's the way to go. Let's bring that in. Try not to sneeze. Ugh, itchy nose. Let's bring that down. Yeah, I'll try that. Do I need to send the button back out? What's his... yeah, no, he's fine. So that's it for us in this session, but let's take a look at the rookies that are running. So we've got Brendan Hartley getting another run at Mercedes. Robin Frinch having a run at Sauber. No, not Sauber. Yeah, Sauber. James Rossiter getting a run at McLaren alongside Adrian Sutil. No, this isn't McLaren. This is... colours are all wrong. This is Force India. Rafael Marcialo getting a run at Ferrari. Daniel Juncadella getting a run out alongside Vern in the the Toro Rosso. We'll get there in the end. Alexander Rossi getting a run out alongside Charles Peak in the Caterham. And Rio Haryanto getting a run out in the Marussia alongside Chilton. Did we miss anybody? No, that appears to be everybody. And that is the end of the session. Okay, into P2. God, my brain's all over the place today. We'll get there in the end. We're going to go with the medium tyres. We're going to go with a 15-lap run. That will hopefully be enough. It'll be more than enough for Jensen, but I'm hoping it'll be enough for Michael. I actually called him Michael, not Mick, which is progress. There we go, get him sent out.
Okay, that's green light.
Probably shouldn't have sent them out nose to tail like that.
Warm the tyres where you can.
So we already have
Line full of curves.
our first replacement livery for the new car models, which have already been released to the public as well. So we'll quickly pop open the web browser again. So for those of you that missed it on the big Mammoth Friday live stream, the FN26 chassis swap model is now available for anyone to create their own liveries for these new cars. There is the base model itself, and then obviously you can just change the livery however you want using whatever software you need to use to do that. I think Photoshop might be done in Blender, I'm not sure. But yeah, if you want to create your own liveries, you now have access to the base template, which is nice. And so we have our first one here, which is a slight reimagining of the Ferrari livery. So this changes the livery a little bit, gets rid of some of the white and some of the blue. Unfortunately, it also makes the rear numbers pretty much impossible to read because it's white on white, as we have a yellow flag. What's going on here?
We've got a yellow flag here.
Spin for Esteban Gutierrez, that's fine. On top of that, we have also had a partial rebranding for Porsche to bring them in. This is for Racing Bulls to turn them into Porsche, but it's not a complete team mod. It just changes the car and the driver overalls. It doesn't do anything else, so it will still have V-car branding on mechanics and the garage and stuff like that. But we already have our first team replacement out there. Of course, we've got the mod manager that was released on Friday while we were streaming, and has since had an update as well, or a couple of updates. And this is brand new from CM Designs. This replaces Alpine with Cadillac, based on their 2021 entry. And that is some interesting colouring going on there. I don't know if that is the lights. I think it might be the lights. Yeah, this basically means if you wanted to get rid of Alpine, to put Cadillac in there and then do your own thing, then now you can. You can replace Alpine with the official Cadillac entry. They will then become one of the original 10, so to speak, and then you can then do whatever you want with your creator team and create your own livery. Add in some sponsors and just go to town on it that way. So that's kind of cool. I'm glad that they've popped that out nice and early, because I know a lot of people were asking about that in the chat on Friday night. Thank you to everyone who was watching Friday night. If you're back in again tonight, it was a pretty awesome stream. A lot of new faces, a lot of new viewers. Hopefully some of you will stick around. But yeah, there we go. A little bit of an update for you on what is already available. Just a couple of days after the mod dropped, we've already got 2 team replacements, a new livery for the Ferrari, and access to the actual model itself if you wanted to do that, and a mod manager as well. So a lot of stuff has already kind of popped out for you there. Right. Close that down. There we go. And let's speed our boys up. Get that feedback in for this second run. See how we get on. How you doing, Johnny? No Michael Schumacher today. Well, maybe. It's early days. I'll probably call him Mick at some point. All right, 3 out of 5 on Jensen, 4 out of 5 on Michael. Nearly called him Mikhail then, because of that, reading that comment. So we have made no progress, it would seem, on Michael's car. That's really bad. That's really bad. We need to call him in straight away and get that sorted. In he comes. Just waiting on that last little bit of feedback with Jensen as well, who's gone through to do another lap. Let's see. We went the wrong way. Wow. I don't think I've ever seen it with a 12 around here. That's a first. I tried to hold off the sneeze as long as possible, but there was no denying it. So, I'm kind of a little unsure how to proceed on this, because I don't think I've ever had a 12 here before. Looks like that is going to have to be right down there. Bring that to there. This has got to change as well, I think. This feels very, very odd to have a setup like this. I don't think I've ever seen this before. But we'll give that a try. We've got the right gap there. That's where it needs to be. That's where it needs to be. That's a small gap. That's a gap that needs to be about that size. So, yeah, it's a bit of an odd one, that one. But we'll see if it works. Let's get Jensen's last little bit of feedback in. He was pretty close in the last session. Have we got it right this time? Not quite, but we have made a tiny bit more progress. We'll leave him out there. Let him finish the 15 laps. And let's get Michael back out again. So it's the front wing. Let's try that. Camera's playing up again. Yeah, it does not seem to be liking being down here at this angle. So, I'm going to have to make an adjustment. All right, there we go. So back to the same sort of position we had it on for Friday. It's already behaving more. So fingers crossed it'll behave itself now for the rest of the evening. Yeah, it's a little awkward because instead of just having monitors in front of me like most people do, I've got a 55-inch TV in front of me and then a 43-inch TV to the side. So, yeah, trying to make use of the existing screens that I have rather than getting dedicated screens, but I think I might have to get monitors at some point. Kick that can down the road to when I can actually afford to get decent monitors and the arms to support them. But it does mean that the camera's now way up in the air compared to where it would be on somebody else's system. For example, if they've got, you know, monitors, they would be a bit lower down. So we'll make do. Let's take a look at our revised feedback from Michael, and oh, look at that, 99%. So close. That's an easy fix. Well, hopefully it'll be an easy fix. Car part knowledge is up to 60%. Still some work to do there. And in he comes. And that can only go one way. That's that way. So that car now should be done. We've gone backwards slightly with Jensen, so looks like we got the wing the wrong way.
Yeah, copy that.
Yeah, okay, so that's going to be a 2 then. And then we need to adjust this accordingly. Like that, and that should now be spot on as well. Is that you that's got the nosebleed on me? Because I started looking at my own nose in the camera then, see if I got a nosebleed after blowing my nose. Okay. Oh dear. Right, practice 2 is done. Let's get into the final practice session. Do I want to go with softs or mediums? Go with mediums, I think. Shouldn't need to run for too long. Just need to make sure that those setup changes have worked and that we get a little bit more car part knowledge in for Michael as well, which will have a knock-on effect for Button when he gets those parts at the next race. So let's send them out. Both of the Mercedes out behind us as well. No, wait. Yeah, we're McLaren. Brain really is fried today. Yeah, I slept through most of the afternoon yesterday because I've been up till 6 o'clock in the morning. So, I was up watching WrestleMania Saturday night through till Sunday, and then I think I went to bed, I don't know, maybe around midday on Sunday. Slept through till maybe later than that, actually. I think it was probably about 4 o'clock-ish in the afternoon when I finally went to bed. Slept through till about 2 o'clock this morning, and I've been up since 2. And then with about an hour and a half before I was supposed to go live, I'm like, I'm getting really tired. I need to try and get a nap. So I did get a little nap of 1 hour and 7 minutes. But brain is still not quite woken up properly yet. So there we go, 100% for both cars. We're at 52% prep, so that's now spot on. Michael needs a tiny bit more time on track, but not too much more. Let's call Jensen in. He is now very much done and dusted today in practice. There we go. Michael's on his way to the garage. Hopefully that's going to be enough. Let's have a look. Just enough. There we go. Fantastic. So, there we go. Quick and easy practice session for us. Both cars now where they need to be. And both drivers pretty happy. See who's on the pace. Vettel, Hamilton, Alonso. Massa's up there as well. Rosberg. Webber now shooting to the top. There's both of the Lotus cars as well. Bit of a gap between them. Almost a second between them. Yeah, this is going to be those top 3 teams that are going to be the breakaways. And again, I think we're going to be fighting with Lotus. Hopefully, though, Michael will be able to fight a little bit further forward with those new upgrades. Otherwise, we could be in trouble this year. I mean, the board want us to win the Constructors' Championship this year, which just is not happening. I can try and work my magic with upgrades, but even so, I think it's way too big a deficit to overhaul Red Bull. Who are still the odds-on favourites in terms of car performance. And, well, I say odds-on favourites. I think Vettel's probably favourite for the driver's title. I think Mercedes could well be more of a threat for the constructors. I think Hamilton and Rosberg as a pair will probably outscore Webber and Vettel. And that is it then for practice. All done and dusted. So, it is Webber that tops the standings ahead of Alonso and Vettel. Let's see if that form in practice, which doesn't really mean much, carries into qualifying, where it does mean something. Qualifying is next.
Welcome to qualifying. Let's find out if all that practice will pay off for the drivers.
The Shanghai International Circuit is notoriously tough on tyres, so expect to see that factor into the team's strategies as they deal with this busy schedule.
And of course, there's the Williams driver. Crew, how do you think they'll fare today?
They must be feeling good after their fast lap times in practice. Confidence can do great things for a driver, so I'm excited to see how they handle qualifying.
So get yourselves comfortable. It's going to be quite the ride.
All right, time for qualifying. Let's start then with just making that decision as to whether or not to swap out these parts, and I'm going to. I think it's too early in the season to be running such a damaged engine. We'll keep the ERS in, we'll keep the gearbox in, but we'll switch the engine over. And let's hit the track. So we'll send Jensen out first.
Okay, that's
Because
green
I'm
light.
expecting Michael to be a little bit quicker. So this will hopefully give Button the purple lap, followed by Schumacher getting the purple lap, and then both getting up to peak confidence or close to. Oh, it's so nice to have the extended standings back. I missed that on Friday. That was really jarring on Friday, not having that. You don't really notice it until you don't have it anymore. And then all of a sudden it's like, ah! It's such a big thing. It's so small a thing, so innocuous, but yeah, you take that away and it really does make a difference. You get used to seeing everything laid out exactly how you want it. And then you take part of that away and it just feels so weird. That was one of the hardest things to try and get used to on Friday while we were streaming the 2026 stuff with no other mods added in there at all. When we do our own series, we will have that leaderboard back. So I just wanted to run just the new stuff on Friday as a showcase for it. So without sort of mixing in other people's mods as well. So yeah, there's a few things we'll do while we're waiting for face mods and stuff to come out. We will probably use the Mr. Only face pack to supplement our 2026 series. Unless, of course, they've got some face mods out by then. Who knows? I'm going to say 3 weeks.
Let's go.
It's not a lot of time, but it's also... Who knows what's going to come out between now and 3 weeks' time. Could be all manner of extra add-ons out in an update by then. Right, let's ride on board with Michael. Let's keep an eye on our sectors, see how we do. .24.4 for Jensen in the first sector. Here comes Michael. He is 0.2 quicker. And Raikkonen fractionally quicker than Michael there in the first sector. 28.5 for Jensen in the second sector split. That's here at the end of this straight. And Schumacher 0.3 up this time. And Raikkonen again, just that tiny little bit quicker. Right, the long back straight. We've got a slow-moving Toro Rosso in front of us. It gets out of the way just in time. Which Toro Rosso is it? It's Jean-Luc Verne. So 40.4 final sector for Jensen, a 133.371. And Schumacher finds a 10th in the final sector. He's 6/10 ahead. Is Raikkonen going to pip us? No, he's not, because it looks like Raikkonen maybe lost a little bit of time in that final sector, possibly because of dirty air from Verne. But for whatever reason, Michael is currently top by 2.5 tenths. So off to a good start. Both drivers are into peak confidence. They've both got a purple lap. And Jules Bianchi is 3.5 seconds off the pace. Don't know if he got held up anywhere with traffic, but I mean, that is a big, big gap. Let's take a look at Valtteri. And he's 2 seconds off the pace. What about Verne? In that classic Toro Rosso livery with the giant, huge airbrushed bull on the side of it. Out of the final corner, up to the line. And it's good enough for P4. He's a second off the pace.
Remember the pit lane speed limiter. Pit lane speed limiter. Copy. Stop in front of our garage.
I said airbrushed, not hairbrushed. Oh dear. Right, Grosjean is on track, and we have a yellow flag. It's not Grosjean, I don't think. It's Hulkenberg. What has Hulkenberg done?
And here we've got a yellow flag.
Oh, no, it's not.
Let's
It's
have a look at that.
Bottas.
Well, things are okay at this stage. Oh no, that's not how.
Now,
to
we've
do
already
it.
seen him complete his lap,
dearie
so
me,
that
you
was
don't want to be doing that.
on his cooldown, but he might have gotten somebody's way that was coming through. Where is Grosjean? That is Grosjean. And the Red Bulls are out on track. Both of them. And Rosberg as well. So we'll get a proper response to our times soon. Grosjean goes to P4, just behind Jensen by a little over 0.07 of a second. Right, here comes Nico Rosberg. Watch his lap, see how he does. We're going to prep for another run, but hopefully we'll get through without needing to go out again. As Chilton's coming up to the final turn. And where does he go? To the bottom of the pile, 4.5 seconds away. Right, 24.0. Yeah, that is a couple of tenths quicker than us. Track is starting to ramp up a little bit of track evolution as more and more cars save time. Puts a bit more rubber down on the track, improves grip. Means the cars can carry a little bit more speed through the corners. Get slightly better exits down the straights. 28.3 in the middle. That is slightly slower than Schumacher did at 28.2. As did Kimi Raikkonen. Goes past one car on the banking. That is, I think, Hulkenberg making his way back to the pits. Might be Gutierrez. Both Salvas are out there at the moment, so hard to say for sure. And I think that is a little bit of a delay for Rosberg here in the final sector. Webber starts his lap. Final sector then, 40.5. And that was a lockup for Webber as he pulled out of... No, not Webber. Ricardo, sorry.
Now
Rosberg
we
who
can
locked
see
up.
what happened.
It sounded
Look at
like it went
Mercedes.
past me.
Nothing at this point. And there's the lockup.
Yeah,
and hopefully
very
there's not
bizarre.
too much damage to the tyres.
Seeing lockups when they're going in a straight line over the line like that. But we do see them. Vettel is on a tear. Purple in the first, purple in the second. He's going to clear back straight in front of him as well. Hamilton on his outlap is just going out of the hairpin now, so not going to be a factor at all for Sebastian here. And up to the line for Seb. And wow. That's a very, very good time. Rosberg is 7/10 behind. And Rosberg only just pipped Schumacher in the end. But that is a mighty time from Seb. Absolutely mighty time. Alonso is only P11, 2.5 seconds off the pace, as is Webber. Those boys definitely getting held up somewhere. Let's see how Hamilton's getting on. Yeah, Jensen is 1.3 seconds off that lap from Vettel. That's a monster lap. I don't think we've got any kind of answer for that today. Massa across the line. He goes to P4. Just behind Schumacher. Hamilton's looking a little bit quicker. Is it by a couple of tenths or so at the moment? He goes to P2. Gets within just over 3/10 of Vettel's time. But that's a hell of a time, isn't it? Maldonado out there at the moment. The last one to settle a lap. And we are going to stay in the garage. I think, even though Button's time isn't the best, it's still good enough to get through. This is where I get proved wrong. And we crash out in big, unspectacular style. Right, hairpin. Just one corner to go then for Maldonado. And across the line, and it's only P17. He's in the drop zone. And by half a second to teammate Valtteri as well. So definitely some work to do for Pastor Maldonado here. Right, Vern is trying to improve. Welcome back, Nexus. Evening, Daniel. Evening, iBook. Yeah, I'm well aware of what Jody does. Look at this. Nexus has been called a legend. I feel like my chat's been co-opted. You've downloaded a modded version of F1 Manager on your Switch. I didn't even know you could do that on the Switch. Guessing it's maybe a jailbroken Switch. If you're getting mods on it. Ricardo needs to find a big improvement, and I don't think this is going to be enough. Might get him out of the drop zone, but I don't think it's going to keep him safe. ...2013 would be interesting as a mod. Well, it is. This is Kevin Tado's 2013 mod. You know Kevin. Oh, car-wise, yeah. But I'd much rather see 90s cars. So Ricardo did improve his time, but he is still not through. He is the first casualty in qualifying. He's going to be joined by Bianchi, Van der Gaard, Peak and Chilton. The next question is, will Maldonado find enough pace to escape at the expense of his teammate? Because you've got to imagine that Webber and Alonso are both going to find enough time to improve their current situation. Valtteri has not improved in the first sector. So he's putting himself under pressure here. Evening, Foamy. Evening, Frank. Vettel's doing it again. Look, he's going absolutely mental. Purple, purple once again. But it's Webber that we need to focus on. Bottas did not improve, so it's down to whether Maldonado's got enough pace to displace his teammate. Ricardo is out and confirmed out. Peak is out. Chilton is out. Webber across the line. Vettel's improved even more. Webber up to 7th, so he's definitely safe. Maldonado, the last real chance of escaping. Needs to find half a second to knock out his teammate. He's on a personal best lap, and it is better than Valtteri's lap. Why are there 4 Red Bull drivers? There aren't. There's 2 Red Bull drivers and there's 2 Toro Rosso drivers. Maldonado does improve, as does Alonso. Alonso gets himself up into 3rd place, but he was never really at risk. But Maldonado has displaced his teammate. He found a 2nd on that run. Ends up 6/10 clear, almost, of his teammate. So it is Bottas, Ricciardo, Bianchi, Peak, Van der Garde and Chilton who are eliminated at the end of Q1. All right, so time for Q2. We're going to put those same tyres on. And we're going to run with those. Ooh, no. Do not want to simulate. That would be a disaster. There we go. So once again, we'll get that nice and early.
Sessions should be starting now.
We want to generate some temperature for this outlap.
Who's in the Toro Rosso team? Daniel Ricciardo and Jean-Eric Vergne. Who's in the Red Bull? Sebastian Vettel and Mark Webber.
Good gap in front.
And you're good to open the lap.
So, let's ride on board with Schumi. Got Alonso and Webber leaving the pits now. We've also got Maldonado and Jean-Eric Vergne on track. close between the two in the first sector. See who wins out in the middle. Button slightly up in the middle. Final sector for Button is a 133.5, and Schumacher lost a lot of time in the final sector there. So he ends up nearly 4/10 down. Not great laps for either driver, truth be told, but good enough to get them where they need to be confidence-wise and on scrub tyres. We may well have to go out again at the end of this session, though, with brand new tyres. Vern's actually gone purple in the middle sector. And he splits our two drivers. Let's see what Webber can do. Alonso is steaming through in the background as well.
Pit lane speed limiter on.
And stop on the marks.
So Webber is a second faster. Ooh, okay. Alonso actually pulled it out the bag in the final sector there as well. Yeah, we definitely need to run on new tyres. Rosberg's time doesn't look that special so far. Where's he going to finish? P4. He's slower than Button, which is a surprise. Vettel is absolutely flying once again. I think it's going to be very hard to beat him today. For anybody, not just for us. He's in some kind of mood today. Hamilton also putting in a very strong first sector. And we've got a yellow flag out there. Not sure who caused it. Let's have a look.
There's a yellow flag now.
Oh, it's
But this is what happened.
past it.
And that's the moment they lose it. In the end, just a helpless passenger.
All right, up to the line for Vettel. And he goes top by 0.2 of a second. Right, across the line. Second place for Lewis. We are probably going to go now, I think. Try and avoid some of that traffic. See if we can make sure we can get a clean run. Sutil is only P12. Force Indias don't seem to be looking that quick here today.
Warm the tyres where you can.
So, who is actually on a lap at the moment? We've got Vern, who is warming up. And that's it. Everyone else is either in the garage or on their way back to the garage, apart from our two. So, as long as we don't get a load of people pouring out the garage now, as Maldonado leaves the pit lane, then we should have the track almost to ourselves.
This could be difficult with traffic at the end of the lap.
All right, we have got
Let's
a
go.
Ferrari coming out. It's Alonso. Is that one of the Saubers? No, Gutierrez. Who is that car coming up the pit lane? Ah, you
We saw that.
utter bastard, Hulkenberg. All right, well, Jensen is going to abort his lap. So it's all down to Michael in this run. It's not a great first sector. No improvement. Chat's just turned into modest corner here. All right, threading the needle through the cars. There we go, past Alonso and Hulkenberg. Jensen up ahead. Get out of the way, Jensen. Thank you.
Pit lane speed limiter on.
And that
Stop in
will
front of our
hopefully be
garage.
enough for Michael to get him through. I say hopefully because we haven't got time to go again. It's going to be touch and go with Jensen here. I have to to turn him around really quickly here. All right, Maldonado looking to finish his lap off, trying to get out of the drop zone. Needs to find at least a second, and doesn't. He finds about half a second. So Maldonado is out, confirmed. Hulkenberg on a lap right now. The rest of the bottom four warming up to start their own lap. And I don't think Hulkenberg's going to do it. Oh, he's getting blocked as well by one of the Lotus drivers. Is that Grosjean? No, I think it's Raikkonen. Grosjean's already on a lap. So Alonso goes top. Hulkenberg is out. That is confirmed. Where is Jensen? I think he should be safe now. He's not going to get round in time to start the lap. Been pulled over too many times. So we'll just call him in.
The temperatures all look fine.
And trust that our time is good enough.
Drive straight out. Track will be clear.
Don't know if Gutierrez is going to be a threat. Grosjean might be a threat to Verne. Oh, wow, 7 seconds off. I didn't realise his first lap was so bad. He must have aborted in the final sector. And he does get ahead of Button. Ooh, now that puts Jensen at risk. Sutil cannot get there. What about De Resta? He's slower. I think we'll be okay. Fingers crossed. We should be fine. Yeah, I saw those mods, Foamy. I've got them downloaded. There we go. So we do get through. Little bit of a tight situation at the end there, but we did get through, and we have plenty of tyres available for Q3, which is next. Okay, so first run on the scrubs, second run on brand new tyres. No movable wings on these
We
cars,
want to generate some
unfortunately.
temperature for this outlap.
We've got Raikkonen in between our two drivers, and we've got Massa coming out behind us as well. In fact, we're getting a lot of them out already. Hamilton's out as well. There is Raikkonen. And now both of the Red Bulls are coming out nose to tail. Vettel is looking to get a slipstream off his teammate because he's not quick enough apparently.
Tyre temperatures are in a good
All right,
way,
let's
though.
see what Jensen can do.
Good gap in front.
You're good to open the lap.
Who's going to be on pole? I would imagine Vettel. It's been pretty rapid all week. Oh, no. Oh, damn it, Fernando. Can you hear the drums, Fernando? It's the sound of me marching an army to stomp on your head for getting him away. Bastard. Oh my god, 1.3 seconds off the pace. 1.5 if you count Raikkonen. Middlesex is bad as well, 29-0. So Jensen's going to go top very, very briefly.
Currently P2.
Yeah,
Happy with that.
not even half a second, just instantly down to P2. Schumacher now up into second place. We are 4 tenths off of Kimi Raikkonen. It's not so good. Seb is not looking spot on at the moment in the first sector. Hamilton is on a flyer. Massa's gone top. Let's see if Hamilton has anything to say about it. He does. He goes top by a tenth. Now Vettel's starting to pick his pace up a bit. Pretty even with Hamilton at the moment. Down a tenth in the first, up a tenth in the middle. Final corner for Webber. And now for Seb. And Webber goes second. Vettel goes top by just 25 thousandths of a second. 2 more cars yet to set their time. It's Rosberg and Alonso. There's Rosberg There's Alonso. In fact, no, that's Massa. Alonso's ahead. There's Alonso.
Okay, so remember pit lane speed limiter.
Stop in front of our garage.
P6 for Fernando. P3 for Rosberg. Wow, look at this. Top three separated by just 0.05 of a second. Very, very tight. We've got brand new tyres for our final run. How close to the front guys can we get? Because it's not looking quite so good right now. 9th and 10th. And the targets I set for today are 6th and 7th. So, yeah, that's going to leave us a little bit of work to do if we're this far off the pace. The question now is, how long do I wait before I send them out? As the Red Bulls heel into the pit lane. And Grosjean is going out. And immediately goes off. Wow.
Right then, you can take a look now. And round they spin. And that won't do anything to help those tyres. And you can just feel the frustration from the team watching on the monitors.
Wow, he is crawling. There we go. I think we'll go now. Send Michael out behind Seb. Is it Hamilton? Yes, that's Hamilton coming out behind Michael. Still waiting on Webber, Massa, Raikkonen and Alonso. Evening, Arctic. Right, we've got both Ferraris out of the garage now. So the only car we're waiting on now is Kimi Raikkonen. As Webber's also leaving the pits. And there's Raikkonen. So that's everybody out on track now. Grosjean on his lap. Evening, MGL.
Drive straight out, drive
straight out. Track will be clear.
Let's go.
So, no pressure, lads. But you best be getting ahead of at least Grosjean. Right, 24.3. It's a personal best, but it's not quick. Vettel's quick. Why do I have Bridgestone tyres for 2013? Because I felt like it. they look nice, you know. I'm kind of tired of seeing Pirelli. Unfortunately, this was 2013 was sort of the beginning of the Pirelli era. It would have been nice to be able to have like Michelins or Bridgestones, like old school Bridgestones, but yeah, we're on to Pirellis by this point. And I'm just tired of seeing Pirelli tyres.
P9.
All right, Schumacher is up to P6. Jensen is still down in P10. Of course, he is running without the upgrades, but I don't think there's 6/10 in the upgrades. So, not great. Vettel is currently top. Rosberg's going for it. And he misses out by nearly 3/10. Webber is looking pretty quick, though. Could he challenge his teammate here? Massa takes second place. And Webber misses out as well. I mean, look how close, again, these times are. There's so little separating some of these cars. Alonso to second place. Could not quite pit Vettel. And that's it. No one else is going to be able to get him. Everyone else is done. So, pole position then goes to Sebastian Vettel. Alonso will take second. Row 2 is Massa and Webber. Row 3 is an all-Mercedes affair. Rosberg ahead of Hamilton. Schumacher will start ahead of Raikkonen on row 4. And it'll be Grosjean ahead of Button on row 5.
The 56 laps of the Shanghai International Circuit await our drivers here in China.
Shanghai has seen its fair share of clashes over the years, one of which happened even before the 2005 race had begun, when Michael Schumacher collided with Christian Albers on the way to the grid, sending Albers into the air.
Shanghai International Circuit is a complicated low-speed track that demands high downforce. The series of rapid turns from 1 to 4 demands high grip, but the more the drivers warm their tyres, the more degradation they'll have to deal with. Race day has arrived, and the time has almost come for these drivers to fight it out, wheel to wheel.
right, let's see if there are any penalties that need to be applied. There's one penalty I know that needs to be applied. That's to one of the Salvers. It's Gutierrez. He gets a 3-place penalty. He's down to 16th. Bianchi has a 3-place penalty as well. He's down to 22nd. But no other changes. Nothing that's going to affect the top 10. So, pretty happy with the option there for strategy. We're going to take a little bit of fuel out. A couple of laps. Nothing too extreme. Let's go crazy off the line, though, as always. See if we can gain a place or two. And those opening few corners. What are the target positions? 7th for Jensen, 6th for Michael. So Michael just needs to find one place. We need to find 3 with Jensen. Right. Strategies are chosen. Instructions are given. Fuel loads are set. The start of the Chinese Grand Prix is next.
Welcome back, everyone. The final preparations are now being made as we head into the race. The McLaren driver now fully focused on this race.
There's potential for them starting 10th. If luck goes their way in the race, they could move up the pack.
Here we go. It's time to go racing. It's almost time for the Chinese Grand Prix.
What? No love in the chat for Crofty? I'm shocked.
It's lights out, and away we go.
All right, we are off and away. Can we maybe gain a place or two? Trying to get alongside Hamilton. There's no way through for Button at the moment. We have got the inside line and complete the move on Hamilton, and he gets a really bad exit as well. Might even get a run on Massa here. We've got a few on mediums. Vettel, Massa, Jean-Eric Verne, Bianchi and Chilton are all on mediums. One driver starting on hards, that is Romain Grosjean. Everyone else starting on soft tyres. Still no way through yet for Jensen. We should get past Grosjean quickly. We need to get past Grosjean quickly, given that he's on hard tyres. Yeah, while Crofty is annoying as hell, he's got to be given some credit this season because he is actually addressing some of the fan issues with... Oh, that's a big crunch. It's a red flag. I think we are through and okay. It's Hulkenberg and De Resta, I think.
Now there's an inviting opportunity there. Has to be said, that was pretty risky.
And they just, I think, clipped the back of the Toro Rosso as well there.
And not much that the team can do about that one.
So we've got 4 cars out. That's that's an explosive start. Yeah, going back to my point that I was making just before I was rudely interrupted by a crash. Crofty, yeah, he's not particularly well liked as a commentator, but I mean he has at least been addressing some of the sort of issues around like battery clipping and super clipping and lifting and coasting. He's actually been addressing that, whereas everybody else is just kind of like not even mentioning it. So I mean, you got to give him some credit for at least trying to give some kind of explanation as to what's going on when nobody else wants to even acknowledge it, you know, possibly under orders from Liberty. So yeah, got to give him some credit for that, but only that. Right, we are going to stay on the same tyres. There's not really much point in changing at this point. It's only 3 out. Vern did get clipped on his rear wing, so I imagine he's got a little bit of rear wing damage, which we can't quite see.
All drivers have taken their positions again. Once more, they're ready to race. And it's lights out.
Yes,
and
a little hole in his rear wing, look. So he did just get clipped. Schumacher gets ahead of Massa off the line. Button trying to get past Raikkonen. The rest has picked up a 10-second penalty as Massa dive bombs back through. But we've got the run and we've got the inside line, so we'll retake that place. Button trying to go around the outside of Raikkonen. Schumacher through will give us a chance to try and go straight after Rosberg. Button now onto the back of Hamilton. Let's see Button's overtake. Oh, God, yeah, no, I hated James Allen as a commentator. Side by side with Rosberg, and the move's done, and we chopped across him pretty abruptly there as well. Schumacher up into 4th. I want to see that again from a better angle, hopefully. Yeah, here we go. Watch him chop across as soon as he got through. Brutal there. And just chopped across. You can see Rosberg taking some avoiding action there. But excellent start from Hamilton up into... from Schumacher up into P4. Button still kind of stuck as Massa's got back ahead again. Turn the tyres down now. And go to top up as well. We'll keep pushing with Schumacher.
Recharge on.
This guy should have gone for Jake Humphries. Nah. Who is the guy who actually presents their coverage? They're sort of their main host. I can't remember. I don't know his name, but I don't like him. He's rubbish. Yeah. Steve Jones, I think. The Channel 4 guy, he does a really good job. I really like him. As a presenter, I think he's, as a lead presenter, I think he's top notch. Lazenby always just sounds and looks bored. He never really sounds that interested. He never looks that interested. He's always got his hands in his pockets and he's kind of just rocking around. And, you know, he doesn't look like he's got any desire to be there. Raikkonen's got through again as well. Damn it. So, yeah, we've definitely got our work cut out for us with Jensen. Track temperature's quite high, 43.3 degrees. Going to need to cool the old tyres down a little bit here.
Suggest increased
Shumi
light
podium would fix your day. I think that is probably a little bit beyond us. I mean, I'm quite pleased to see us running where we are, but I don't think that's sustainable, unfortunately. Deploy the rest of the battery for Jensen. I do not want to get caught out by Grosjean on those hard tyres. See if we can close the gap back up a little bit. Imagine Clarkson doing it. Oh, Jesus.
DRS.
I don't think Clarkson would be very good at it because it's live. You know. When was the last time he did anything live? That wasn't, you know, anarchic and all over the place, by design or not.
So far.
Jensen's caught back up to Kimi again, which is good because we're just about out of battery now.
Focus on recharge.
Schumacher is keeping Rosberg at bay for now, just off the back of Webber. Yeah, for me, I think the best commentary partnership I've heard throughout history is probably Murray and Brundle. didn't like James Hunt at first when I first started watching. He always sounded so grumpy and so arsey, and he spent more time just insulting drivers than actually giving any technical insight. But I grew to appreciate him
How's the tyre?
more over the years. And then when he passed away and Martin Brundle took over, at the start of '97. How do I download this mod? Well, this particular version of the 2013 mod is on Overtake. It's also linked in the video description down below, so I'll take you straight to it. Right, let's up the tyre pace again now that they've cooled down a bit.
Use the pace now.
Yeah, they were like an old married couple arguing at times in the commentary box, Hunt and Murray. Yeah, it's late 80s for me when I started watching. So Alonso leads. And he did actually change his tyres in the pit stop for it looks like another set of soft tyres, which is a bit odd. Wasn't expecting him to do that. Who else changed tyres? Grosjean changed tyres and looks like he put on a second set of hard tyres. Again, seems a very odd thing to do. A couple of others have changed their tyres as well. Not sure what they started on. It's starting to creep back up again.
So we are now P9.
So 2006,
1.5.
then Foamy. How are we looking on tyres? A couple of laps a bit further along. Let's make a little tweak. So we aim for lap 20. Like that. And then Jensen. Let's go for lap 19. And just do that. ...2006 was when BIR was bought out by Honda. Honda officially became, took over at the start of 2006. And Alonso was in a Renault in 2005 and 2006 when he won his titles. So, yeah, I'm just extrapolating as 2006. I was there in 2003. And it was actually a brilliant race. Oh, the Honda Earth car, that was 2008, I think. Their last car, which was awful. Yeah, I mean, this is one thing I was talking about the other day when we were going through the preview on Thursday. We were going through the preview of the livery pack. And I was showing off some of the real-world versions of those liveries. And I was, trying and failing to hide my disdain for just how ugly the cars were in that period, with so much crap, aero crap added onto them. There was no clean lines anywhere. It was just extra bits of carbon fiber slapped all over the car in really weird positions. Some of them just looked hideous. Best livery was the McLaren Chrome. Nah, I don't think so. I mean, I suppose it depends on the era that you grew up watching. But for me, no. I mean, it's a nice livery. But in terms of McLaren liveries, the West livery was nicer, I think. And you can't look past the red and white Marlboro. Absolutely iconic. What engine do I prefer? V6, V8, V12, V16? I prefer V10s. Yeah, in terms of Williams liveries, I mean, the classic Cannon livery of the late 80s, early 90s. The Rothmans livery. That was beautiful as well. Let's kind of ignore the Winfield one, because that was just hideous. And then their liveries were okay for a bit. And then they had the Martini livery, which I thought was beautiful. Oh, in 2003, the Jaguar sounded awesome. I was in Brooklands, and just hearing the car growl as it went through that sector was just beautiful. Beautiful. It was just a shame it was a shit car. But, I mean, if you want to look at some other classic liveries, again, I'm going old school. The 7-Up Jordan. Really nice looking car, let alone the livery being iconic. I like the Camel Lotus of 1990. You can't ignore the John Player Special Lotus. That was a beautiful car. The 1990 Ferrari was a really nice car, a very simple livery as well. Beautiful car, and very little in the way of sponsors on the side of it. You had like a big Fiat badge, and you had was it Shell or Agip on the side as well. But yeah, beautiful car. Love that that John Barnard Ferrari. That was absolutely gorgeous. It's one of my all-time favourite Formula One cars. Right, Hamilton's got past Rosberg and is all over the back of Schumacher. We've been watching Button for a while. He's not really doing anything at the moment. Let's turn our attention to Schumacher. You can see there's Rosberg, who was on our tail. He's now a couple of seconds back, and it's Hamilton who's putting the pressure on. And Alonso is just keeping this race very much under control. Just 3-second gaps all the way back, look. See some pit stops soon. We're getting into that kind of window.
We are ready for you.
Oh, we've got a lock up for Kimi.
But here we are following the Alpine. Nothing wrong so far. And the car fails to respond. And that's just the risk
He
you
so
take.
nearly
But
went
later you leave
straight
it.
through that Ferrari. That was very close. And that's given Button an opportunity. If you want to look outside of Formula One, some of the classic liveries, the Toyota Celicas in Castrol in Rally, obviously Colin McRae's Subaru with 555 on it, the Silk Cut Jaguar from Le Mans, beautiful car. But yeah, as we are getting close to pit stops, this is the Ferrari that I was talking about. Absolutely
Time
beautiful.
management looks okay.
Loved that car. Just looked so nice. And it was a really good Ferrari as well. Pioneered the semi-automatic gearbox, which was brilliant, but also brutally unreliable in the first year or so. As Raikkonen's into the pits. Michael and Fernando era was the best ever. No, it wasn't. No, the Senna, Schumacher, Piquet, Prost era. You know, that was the best era, I think. well, let's say it was. I think it was a better era. I don't necessarily say it was the best era because I didn't see anything that came before it. But yeah, it was a better. I think it was a better era because the cars were so much less capable back then. So the drivers, really did have to perform miracles. And reliability was absolutely appalling back in those days as well. And you clearly had an A car and a B car. The number one driver got the A car, the number two driver got the B car, and the B car reliability was probably about 40% worse than that of the A car. All the best bits went on the A car, and then whatever they had left over went on the B car. All the stuff that wasn't looking quite so good. People like the team or the driver do more like Ferrari because Hamilton left Mercedes. No, I don't think so. I mean, certainly there's going to be an element of that. I mean, I don't have a team that I follow over all others. I've got soft spots for Williams because Mansell drove for them. And they were, a British team that I watched growing up as a kid. I've got a soft spot for McLaren because Senna drove for them, and I loved watching Senna drive. Fantastic to watch. Always got a soft spot for Ferrari. They've had some beautiful cars. They've had some great drivers over the years. They've had some awful cars and some awful drivers as well, but I think everyone's got a soft spot for Ferrari just because of the name Ferrari. It's when in the 80s, when I was a kid growing up, everyone had 2 posters on the wall, maybe 3. They had a Lamborghini Countach and a Ferrari F40, maybe a Ferrari Testarossa. They were the 2 cars that every kid had on their wall, as a kid in the 80s, because they were just so iconic and special. And that just translates, I think, into motorsport as well.
We'll box this lap.
All right, we've got a fault for Verne. Rosberg's into the pits, and he's slapped on another set of soft tyres. Just about gets out in front of Ricciardo. Evening, Nigel. Oh, no. I mean, it was not that way at all, Nigel, trust me. The B car was always the most unreliable car. Right, decent stop there for Alonso. Oh, yeah. Alonso is driving with Michael Schumacher's helmet because I've got one of Jodie's mods on, which I forgot to take off for this. So, it's only available for Ferraris, so that means that Massa's going to have the wrong helmet as well. Yeah. I'll have to take that off.
So that's P11.
Didn't Coulthard do that
Next
one
car
swap?
is Bottas. 1.5.
Try to get into your work, escaping from Woolerton.
2.5.
It's not necessarily going back that far. I mean, there were still T cars in the mid-90s. I mean, the opening lap of Spa 97 was carnage, and everyone kept running. Yeah, everyone started running back to the garage to get into the spare car. You know, they still had spare cars back in '97. Right, out of the pits for Schumacher. 2.6, not bad. Rosberg sets a new fastest lap. Ooh, can we get out in front of Hamilton? Just about. That was tight. Let's give Jensen a little bit of pace. See if we can get him to start to catch back up towards Kimi again, hopefully.
Use the overtake button.
And Rosberg, having stopped early, has undercut both Hamilton and Schumacher. So down in P7 right now. That's our target for Schumacher. No, P6 is our target for Schumacher. But Vettel and Massa still yet to stop. Vettel almost a pit stop clear. But Massa's certainly going to drop down behind us. Evening, Mike. Alright, we've got a problem for Satil now. That's escalated up to orange. Well, speaking of Jensen, we absolutely blitzed away from Valtteri on that last lap. By a whopping 6.5 seconds. Valtteri needs to stop, I think. Meanwhile, Schumacher's closing in quickly onto the back of Rosberg. Into the pits for Guido van der Garde. He's put on a set of hard tyres that might take him to the end, but probably won't. Vettel's in. Soft tyres and a decent turnaround there from Red Bull. Alonso will go through and retake the lead. And Massa, who has yet to stop yet, will also go through. There's Webber in the background.
Track is
And
low.
we've killed the battery now for Jensen. Look at that. Another blistering lap. We've opened up a massive gap. I mean, it's not that 32 seconds. It's because Vettel boxed. There we go. 16.5 seconds. Now down to 12.5 seconds. But, you know, we were a second or two ahead of Bottas a couple of laps ago. We pulled out 12 seconds in 2 laps. Absolutely blitzed away from him. The performance difference across the field in this mod is staggering. But then that's kind of reflective of how it actually was in those days. All right, we are on to the back of Rosberg, but we're out of battery. As Vettel gets past Massa through turn 1. Into the pits for Verne, who has that wing damage still. You're always looking into something, Nexus. Ah, boo, 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 Nexus, boo. Don't like bad news. All right, what is it? You're going to tell me that my hopes and dreams are dashed and that... Is that all staff, so engineers as well, or is it just the drivers? That's a bit of a shame, but I mean, I can live with that, I suppose. Right, into the pits comes Valtteri.
Let's see what happened there. Right, let's have a look here as we go into turn 8. The opportunity's there.
Yeah, go on, Schumacher.
And that puts them in 6th.
Getting in amongst the back markers again. And Hamilton's going to try and get his way through on Grosjean as well. Yeah, I heard about the crash at the Nordschleife, but I haven't looked for it. Still, Valtteri straight out the pits and
Now this was Valtteri Bottas.
straight into destroying his new tyres.
All right so far. Struggling with the car. Just unable to control the car by that point.
Still a little traumatised from watching Senna die live as a kid. So if there's a crash where I know it was a fatal crash, I won't watch it. No, I wasn't in Imola. I was watching it live on TV. And then as soon as the race finished, I was glued to my radio listening for any news. And then it came about an hour and a half, 2 hours after the race. On the 5 o'clock news bulletin that he was declared brain dead. And of course that came just a day after Ratzenberger died at the same circuit. So yeah, I don't actively seek out crashes. You know, I actively avoid them if I know that there was a fatality. Still not seen Antoine Hubert's crash. And, you know, I'm not in any hurry to either. It was just a horrible year, 94. Vendinger had a horrible incident as well at, I'm going to say Monaco, which put him into a coma for several weeks. It was just a horrible year. You know, we'd had all these years where there hadn't been any major injuries of any real kind, and then we had 2 fatalities in the same weekend, and then not long after that we had, not long after that we had, Vendinger in a coma. It was just not a good year, 94. I watched that one as well, live on TV. Right, back to Schumacher. We've dropped away again, thanks to the back markers. Button still doesn't have enough pace to get P7 today. Should have played it safer with him. Should have taken the P9. I mean, Grosjean's still out there and it's not that quick at the moment, but even if we get past him and stay ahead of him, that's only P8s. Right, we're just past the halfway point. Lap 29 of 56 has just been started. Vettel leads Alonso by a little under 3 seconds. Then it's Webber, 10.5 seconds further back. Then Rosberg in 4th. Schumacher 5th is just 2 seconds behind. We're 3 seconds ahead of Hamilton. Then it's a little bit of a gap to the two Lotus drivers, Grosjean and Raikkonen. Button in 9th, has Massa for company in 10th. Then it's Ricciardo, Gutierrez, Sutil, then Bottas, Van der Gaard, Peak, Bianchi and Chilton. We've had 3 retirements so far, all out at the same time. Maldonado, Hulkenberg and De Resta, which brought out the red flag. As we make our way past Charles Peak. There is Rosberg, and there is Hamilton, sandwiched in Schumacher. Let's see, Button and Massa, just half a second apart. I think Massa might try and put the moves to us at the end of this straight coming up.
He has DRS.
Just had a notification through from the AMO community, which I missed earlier, depending on when it went out. I think it only actually went out about half an hour ago. Someone asked me in a video earlier, in a comment on my Friday live stream, on the replay of it, if I was going to be putting the database or the 2026 mod back into the database, and I didn't understand what the question was, so I haven't responded to it. But now I kind of understand the question. It looks like the 2026 database has been removed from the editor due to instability. 2 days no stream, took a break. I very rarely stream at weekends. I always stream Monday to Friday, and then I generally just keep the weekends to myself. I do sometimes do weekend streams, but not often.
He has DRS.
Button is doing a decent job of keeping Massa at bay, but again, still not showing the pace we need.
You are P9.
Schumacher kind of going back and forth with Rosberg, gets a little closer, then loses a little bit of ground, and gets a little closer. We're going to try and push up to him
0.4.
again. Probably extend Button's stint just a little bit. See if we can get him onto. There's that BBC News music in the background. Yeah, let's see if we can extend for that. It's actually slower. Okay, if that's the case. Let's up Button's tyre pace and get him in on an undercut.
We are ready for you.
I think that's just an urban myth, Ian. Sorry, I just saw that I wish my cat was smaller, and all I could think of was the joke in Predator. Massa has got through on Jensen. Didn't have battle assist on, no wonder.
No harm done.
Damn it.
Let's take a closer look. Let's have a look as we go into the 13th corner. They decide to give it a go. And the Ferrari moves up.
And 1.1. Deep breath. You're going to be okay.
Hamilton's starting to put some pressure onto the back of Schumacher.
Pack is high.
Going to increase his tyre pace a little bit now as well. Have you thought about putting a cardboard box down next to your desk? Maybe a Maine Coon, but it's still a cat. It doesn't actually need to be a box. It just needs to be the outline of a box. Just put a square of tape on the floor. And they will sit inside the outline, inside the perimeter of your box. All right, Grosjean's in the pits. Set of medium tyres to take him to the end. We're going to be calling Jensen in soon. Well,
Management, everything's good.
if you're a Terry Pratchett fan, you should know the answer to that one. If you're not, then you won't. The Lotus livery hits hard. I prefer the one from 2012 where they didn't have the red on the car. It was just black and gold. Oh, I'm not a cat person, I'm a dog person, so I really couldn't help you. Sorry.
Body recharge on. We're boxed this lap.
All right, second stop for Jensen. Set of mediums. 2.6. Don't know if that's good or not. Probably not. Come out behind Chilton and Bianchi,
So this is
but
P10.
comfortably ahead of Gutierrez. Let's get these tyres fired up quickly. Oh, get out of the way.
We have a blue flag.
We have a blue flag.
Rosberg is in. Hoping I could undercut him. That's not going to happen. So the medium's going on.
In maximum pace now.
Suggest reduce a bit, lift and coast.
All right, we've weathered the storm from Hamilton.
Use overtake.
Going to be in at the end of this lap, I think. Coming a little bit earlier. Come out P6. No, we'll come out P7, maybe P8. It's going to be tight. I think we actually might come out behind Rosberg. Hamilton's in as well. Slow getting away because of the Williams of Valtteri coming in. So we lost a little bit of time there to Hamilton. Rosberg's gone through. We will at least be comfortable against Grosjean, who is not even into the final turn yet. Oh, if you've got the West McLaren 2025 models, yeah, drop that one, because I'm desperate to get hold of one of those. Right, Alonso boxes, with Ricardo and Sutil coming in as well. Well, Ricardo's already in. Hard tyres going on for Fernando, and that's a pretty good stop.
recharge should be on.
It's looking very comfortable for Vettel at the moment. He does need to stop again, as does Webber. Massa and Raikkonen, I don't know. I would imagine Raikkonen needs to stop again. Don't know about Massa. I would imagine Massa probably needs to as well. Can't shake Hamilton
Who's
though.
that
He's still
having an
right
issue in
there.
the pits?
Problem in the
Shandong,
pits for
talk us through this
Max
one.
Chilton.
So the Haas makes the stop. And that's where they struggle taking the tyre off.
P5 is definitely a possibility. I think it's going to be a struggle to get any better than P9 for Jensen. Even that might be a bit beyond reach as well. Probably P10 for Jensen. Needed those upgrades. He'll have them for the next race tomorrow, but yeah, could have done with them tonight. Help to actually turn the battery on, wouldn't it, if I was trying to push? That's the whole reason I turned the tyres up, was to push. And then I forgot to turn the battery on. All right, Vettel is in from the lead. Oh yeah, we're not going to win the title this year. Not unless our car suddenly transforms itself massively throughout the season, which I don't think it's going to. This season's all about making some progress up the grid, picking up some good points. Getting up to fourth or maybe third best car on the grid. Oh, I know what tyres I've got left. I've got a set of hards. That's it, pretty much. That and some used, in varying different states of used softs.
Okay, maximum pace.
Red Bull versus Toro Rosso. Red Bull has the power. Well, I was going to say we have at least put a little bit of a gap between us and Lewis, but now that we're having to cool the tyres down, that gap's coming straight back down again. We are closing in on Raikkonen and Massa. There they are in front. Curious what the actual performance difference is me load up autosave. Let's have a look. At performance. Oh, Hamilton has an issue. Did I just see that pop up? I'm blocking the screen here, but this is the actual performance at the moment. Let me stretch this out a bit, make it easier to read. There we go. So we've got Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes. This isn't right. Can't be right. Oh, wait, this is what's been developed. So you can see our development curve there has gone up massively. What's actually fitted, though? Yeah, Schumacher's car is number 7th. Jensen's is number 10th. And we're down 4.3% on the Red Bulls. And we're down 8% with the McLaren. Right, Raikkonen is into the pits, so we will get past him with Michael. Don't know if we'll get Button through. Maybe, if we're lucky. He's going to be putting on soft tyres. Yeah, we've got him. Can we stay ahead of him, though? That is the question. Hamilton has absolutely breezed past Schumacher. Missed that one. I was looking in the editor. Webber's in. So the soft tyres going on. If he gets ahead of me, I won't be able to stay with him. There just isn't any decent dirty air performance in the car. And he's got brand new softs, so he will outpace Jensen incredibly quickly. I've got to stay ahead of him. If I let him through, he's gone, and there's no way I'm going to stay with him.
Overtake available.
Is that Sutil? Yes, it was. Oh, and there goes Rosberg screaming on through. Rosberg's been on fire since his second stop. Oh, we got a lock up somewhere. Heard the tyre squeal. It's Gutierrez.
Yellow flags, yellow flags.
Ah, it's a spin.
Now this was on the straight. And the rear just lets go. And ultimately, just unable to bring the car under control.
Big old spin. It shows the performance difference in the cars as well, is that Jean-Eric Verne, who's had a hole in his wing since the red flag, is just outside the points. I mean, he's a long way off the points, but you know, he's quicker than Bottas by a long way. He's quicker than Sutil, although Sutil's got damage to his powertrain, but he's massively quicker than all of these guys. Will Massa pit? He might try and go the distance.
How's the tyre?
Let's have a look how long he's been on those tyres. Yeah, Massa's going to go the distance.
You need to push.
Overtake available.
Suggest reduce a bit, lift and coast.
I just don't think the medium tyres are working very well for our car. I mean, our pace now is slower than Massa, a second slower than Hamilton, slower than Rosberg, much slower than these guys, but they're on softs.
He has DRS.
But Alonso looking pretty quick as well. There's no point going for fastest lap. There is no fastest lap point in 2013. I'd just be throwing away a position for no reason.
Yeah, recharge on is good.
Guido van der Garde is into the pits. Yeah, but I'm guaranteed to lose a point if I do that. I'm on for 2 points in ninth. Guaranteed to drop a point. At least I'm in the chance of actually staying ahead and keeping track position. Have I ever done a 3-stop and gone medium, soft, soft, soft? Yes, I have. Just not in a while. You might have to get this mod and manage Caterham. Well, Caterham are the creator team in this. So if ever you decide you want to replace them, then you can just create your own team to replace them.
Lift off end of straight.
Plus, of course, you've also got the Caterham livery on the new mod pack as well that you can work from. Ten laps remaining. Let's start to give Michael a little bit more tyre pace. Plenty safe to Grosjean. going to bring Kobayashi back a year early. Yeah, he could do, because he's Ferrari reserve. Have you seen his photo in this as well? He's just like the most smiliest a man could possibly be. We'll show you the image after this race for those of you that haven't seen it. He is hysterical. A couple of back markers coming up. Actually, no, not a couple of back markers. It's Grosjean and one of the two Marussias. It's Chilton. Just too much power. Hopefully I've cooked his tyres a little bit in the dirty air. An audience of Tim the Toolman Taylors. More power. And of course we'll get held up through the corner. I'll tell you where you can stick that rocket. Yeah, no, Raikkonen's gone. You can only hope that he does something stupid when he gets up to the back of his teammate and takes them both out. Hamilton's stuck with some traffic. Save a touch of battery. And that's Massa ahead as well. So Schumacher all of a sudden closing in on 5th place, not just 6th. Have I seen the Kvyat photo? Yes, with his aviators. Trying to look all Top Gun. Still, I think it's better than the constipated Alonso. And the extremely moody Rubens Barrichello. Sharpeek running wide on turn 1, that's just ahead of us. And Sharpeek. Right, we've got 6.5 laps to go. Oh, someone's off. Safety car, full safety car.
Safety car deployed. Safety car, recharge button on. Recharge on. Delta positive.
Now we should be able to take a look here. Right, let's follow the action now at turn 7. And unable to do anything about that crash.
I love the
imagine
turn
their
7
confidence
crashes
will
here
have
because they're
taken a
just
knock.
always so spectacular.
It's not going the way the team had hoped today. That is...
Right, so Vettel cannot change tyres, nor can Alonso. Webber's staying out. Let's see if Massa decides to box. We might be able to beat Grosjean out of the pits here, possibly. Is anyone going to box? Grosjean is at the hairpin now. He might get us. Vern is coming in. Oh, nice. A 2.4 second stop. That's quick. Yeah. Grosjean's going to get us, but we might get out just in front of Kimi. It's going to be tight with Kimi. Yeah, we're ahead of Kimi. And Button now gets his free pit stop. A 2.5 second stop for Jensen. That's not bad.
Key thing is to keep the tyre in good shape. Keep the tyre in good
Look at that. We've got the quickest stop with Schumacher. Very nice. And we're on the board with Jensen's stop as well. His other stop was slightly quicker than that, but I don't think it was quick enough to beat Sutil. I think it was a 2.584. I think. So he'll stay in P6. That's a good haul of points today in the pit stop challenge, at least. The question now is, how long is this safety car going to be? It's
10.
going to be a fairly long one.
Pack is high.
Because we've got to let the lapped cars unlap themselves before we can go in. So, the 2010 Sauber. Let me have a look.
Fuel is okay.
No, it's not. I mean, it's similar, but it's not. There are definite differences.
Understood. Keep as much temperature in these as possible.
very similar. I will give you that. Very, very similar, but there are definitely some differences, not just the nose. But then that might just be down to the body shape around the side pods. It doesn't matter if anyone's lapped twice, they only get to unlap themselves once. Yeah, BMW pulled out quite late on, if I remember. They didn't give a huge amount of notice. It was just, yeah, we're going. And Peter Sauber brought the team back. How many laps are we actually going to get? While we're waiting for the field to sort itself out, I'm going to pop a quick ad break.
The tyre temperature should be in a good place.
Did you miss the incident? I'm guessing yes. Gutierrez lost control, span out at turn 7, and wrecked the car. I'm surprised it was a safety car, though, not a VSC. Because he was way off the track. He was all the way over here in the barrier.
Cars can overtake.
Right, the lap cars are being let through now, which means we should be going racing next lap. So we're going to have 2 racing laps, which is a full battery, basically. Pretty good tyres, but it's a lot of places to make up. We need to get past Grosjean. If we can get past Grosjean, we'll get Massa, and we'll get up to P6. Button needs to get past Raikkonen and Grosjean and Massa.
Yes, use the chance now.
There we go. Safety car is ending. We're not going to get anyone into turn 1, so we're not going to deploy the battery until we come out of the snail.
Keep chipping away. We can have recharge on now.
2 laps to see if we can cover ourselves in glory or not.
Time management all good so far.
Here we go, back to green flag. No overtaking until we cross the line. And now we go for it.
We don't want to lose too much time.
Maybe just cross our fingers and hope.
Use deploy. Maximum PU cooling. Pick clear air if you can.
Go on. Schumacher's through. .4.
There are opportunities ahead.
Best I can do is P8 now with button.
Cool with carb.
Can I box him in? Can I box him in? No. Can I still get him up the inside? No, he backed out. Oh, button, you pussy. God damn it.
Playful.
Damn. Well, at least we rescued P6 with Schumacher, which was the target. Vettel wins.
Red Bull takes the win.
I don't think there was a single second of that race where they didn't believe they'd win it.
Yeah, P6, that'll get us the sponsor target hit for Schumacher. Shame we couldn't get any further than that. And Jensen never really looking like he was going to be able to challenge higher than 9th or 10th today. Just needs those upgrades. We'll have them tomorrow.
That's a checkered flag.
And we'll have a new rear wing as well, but
Well done.
yeah, just couldn't quite get it done.
When you get to the FIA, we need to turn the car fully off. So kill the engine, wait 5 seconds, and then you can switch it completely off.
And on our screens at the moment, the McLaren driver.
Yeah, and in the end, it was a finish in P6, which will bring in a few points.
Now, Karun, with that result in mind, what would they be feeling like down at McLaren?
Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag here. Some things went their way, but others didn't. I think their main target now will be finding some consistency for sure.
And of course, no podium celebrations because we don't have head models for 2 of the 3 in the top 10, in the top 3. So it is confirmation of the final results. A win for Sebastian Vettel. Fastest lap time, 133.733. Nobody else came close. Nobody came close to that time. I think that is possibly the closest. Jensen 135.1 is the closest second time. So it is Vettel from Alonso, then Webber, Rosberg, and Hamilton, 4th and 5th for Mercedes. Schumacher gets 6th, Massa in 7th, Grosjean in 8th, Raikkonen 9th, Button in 10th. Then it's Ricciardo from Sutil, Verne, Bottas, Van der Gaard, Peak, Bianchi, and Chilton. And then we had 4 retirements: Gutierrez, Maldonado, Hulkenberg, and De Resta. Let's see what the driver standings look like. Sebastian leads with 65 points. He is now 13 points clear of teammate Mark Webber. Rosberg moves up into 3rd place with 36 points, 2 ahead of Fernando Alonso, who does not look pleased by that at all. Then it's Lewis Hamilton with 30 points. Kimi Raikkonen on 28 points. He's down 3 places today. Felipe Massa moves up a place into 7th on 18 points. Jensen down into 14 points in 8th, tying with teammate Schumacher, who also has 14. Then it's Grosjean with 8 points. Behind him is De Resta with 4 points. Then no one else has scored yet, so it's Verne from Ricciardo, Sutil from Hulkenberg, Bottas, Peak, Gutierrez, Van der Gaard, Chilton, Maldonado, Bianchi, and no on the grid, Sergio Perez. So in the constructor standings, Red Bull up to 117 points as they picked up 40 this weekend. Mercedes in 2nd have 66. Ferrari move above Lotus into 3rd. They're on 52 after picking up 24 points this weekend. Lotus have 36 points in 4th. We're 5th with 28, so we're 8 points behind them. Then it's Force India with 4 points. And then everyone below has yet to score. It's Toro Rosso from Sauber, Williams, Caterham, and Marussia. In the pit stop challenge, big points for us. We get the quickest stop of the day, and we also get number 5 as well. So 35 points today. Ferrari picking up just 2nd place, 18 points. Red Bull getting 3rd and 7th. Lotus 4th and 8th. Force India picking up a few points in 6th. And then the last positions go to Williams and Caterham. So in this challenge, it is 77 points for Red Bull. We closed the gap nicely by 14 points. We're now just 9 points behind them with 68. Then it's Ferrari with 51 points. 27 points for Williams, 24 for Toro Rosso. No points for Toro Rosso today. Lotus up 2 places with 16 points earned. They're now on 22. Then it's Caterham with 19. Force India with 15. And then we have Sauber from Marussia. And Mercedes are still bottom, still yet to score a point. There's a summary of our stops. So best stop at the end, 2.547, was just good enough actually to bump up an extra place. And then that brilliant stop there from Schumacher being the quickest of the day. We will take that all day long. No sponsor payout for Jensen. No contract bonuses to pay out either because neither driver won the Grand Prix. So we come away with another 687,000 and change. Let's head back to HQ and start prepping for tomorrow's Grand Prix. Okay, so the tour center is upgraded. And here we are back at HQ. So let's take a quick look at stuff, shall we? We'll start with the board, see what they thought of that result. They're going to be disappointed. I know they are. They are, yeah. I mean, this is the brutal thing here. They're expecting us to win the Constructors this season, which is not going to happen. And it's also the long-term objective to win that this year as well. So we're going to fail both of our objectives this year. We're already down to low confidence with the board because of 3 disappointed results in a row. McLaren is actually a tough file to do because their expectations are so high and the performance just is not there. So we're going to have to throw some stuff at the wall and see what sticks. We're also going to have to keep upgrading this boardroom to try and improve our race confidence gain as much as possible. This next upgrade is due in 13 days. Not in time for Bahrain, unfortunately. But that will give us an extra 20% as opposed to 15%. And then we'll have to stick another upgrade on top of that ASAP. Let's get that tour center maxed out now. There we go. Let's go to the inbox. Something is broken on one of our cars. Let's have a look. Post-race data. There we go. What you got for me, Paddy? A broken or failed front wing. That should be an easy fix. What's everyone else up to? Toro Rosso are doing something. They've upgraded their HQ. Bruno Faman is pretty pleased being in 3rd place in the Constructors. There are the standings. They're 4th in the Constructors, not 3rd. Why does it say 3rd? They're not 3rd, they're 4th. Maybe they were 3rd when that article was written, but it says today. Very weird. Okay, and what about our affiliates? Schumacher Jr. has gained a point in smoothness and a point in reactions. No change to Gary Paffett. Magnussen has gained a point in overtaking. We will look at some other driver photos in just a moment. Let's take a look at our main drivers. Any changes there? No. Tour Center. We know about that. Okay, so let's fix the car first of all. There we go. And are we building that rear wing? Yes, we are. Okay, we've got one available. The rest are on the way. We can now fit the suspension and chassis upgrades. No, sorry, suspension and side pod upgrades to Jensen. So I'll give him a nice little bit of extra speed and downforce. You can see how much the car improves. Loses a percentage point in engine cooling, but we can make that sacrifice for that level of performance gain. And then with our suspension, again, we're losing a little bit of high-speed performance, but some good gains in low and medium speed. We're gaining 6% tyre wear and a little bit more straight-line speed as well for a little bit of loss in high-speed performance. Hopefully that won't come back to bite us too badly. And now we've got a rear wing. We can stick that on the car. So this one is a bit of a strange one. As you can see, a little bit of speed, a nice big chunk of extra DRS power, a little bit of low speed, a decent chunk of medium speed, slight loss in the high speed, a little loss in the dirty air, and a tiny bit of extra weight. But now that we have that fitted, now we can start planning the next round of upgrades, because we've got all of our currently developed parts on one of our cars. So now, when we go ahead and start designing a new part, we can see exactly how it's going to behave with everything else. We've got a new ATR as well. Just looking to see where I think that's probably going to be of the most benefit. And I would say probably the underfloor. So let's have a quick look, see if I was right on that one. So I can get it looking like that. That's not bad. What happens if I take the hours off? Okay, that's still pretty respectable. So let's do that then. Let's put the hours on the front wing. And let's go with an intense build to gain extra expertise. And let's get that front wing going. We need a little bit more high speed. There we go. Yeah, we're looking to strip quite a bit off the base level, but we're still gaining, which is quite nice. We're going to strip weight all the way down. And I mean all the way down, because we've got a pretty good budget, and we need to make this car as light as possible. Don't really want to do that. Do want to do this. Try and gain some extra improvement in dirty air. We'll go with that. And again, we will go with an intense build. That's a more expensive one at 5.4 mil, but we've got the funds for it. Let's go ahead and do that. And let's also start doing the next round of upgrades based off of the initial development that we did. So this is where things get a little bit more tricky. As you can see, the next upgrade is going to be a difficult one. Trying to balance out the performance where we can. And this one, we might not end up building it, but what we do need is to kind of reset our levels a little bit better for future upgrades. And let's do a side pod as well. It's another part that we can strip a lot of weight off of. So let's push this up a bit, and we'll push this up a bit as well. Let's take a little bit off the engine cooling. Take that weight off. And there we are looking at an extra 5.5%. Let's maybe strip that down a bit more. There we go. And again, we'll go intense on this as well. There we go. And now we're just going to wait a month before we can start doing anything else with our car. Let's get our pit crew training done. Strip that out. Go to cumulative. What's our fatigue level at the start? Ooh, that's high. Very high. Let's get them down to there. Go into some split training. And then let's go with a morning of car building. A morning of... That's too much. Alright, so morning of car building. And then we get a couple of days off before the Grand Prix. Go to Bahrain. Come out of Bahrain. Go into some more split training. And then let's do a full day of car building. And a morning of car building. Yeah, I will live with an extra 1% going in there. And then if we do a day of split training here. There we go. We're under 25% at the end of the month. Very nice. Confirm. There we go. What's next? How long until we get our money from the sponsors? Oh, 2 days. That's handy. So 4.175 mil added there, and for the mandatories, there's a 2.8 for a wind tunnel. So we're back up to 11.7 mil. Let's go to our facilities and see what we could possibly do. Still waiting on these to go through. 5 and 6 days away. There's nothing else in here that I really want to work on yet, apart from the boardroom. That's not going to happen until we come back from Sakir. So let's get some more money from the sponsors plotted in. No mandatories this time, so just our engagement. We will go with Andrew Tang. And go with Stoffel and Magnussen as well. Why not? There we go. Confirm. Right. 9 days until our next race. Low stock on chassis, I am aware. I can now fit that to Jensen as well for a little bit of extra speed, acceleration, DRS, a good chunk of high-speed performance. There we go, and we can get that rear wing installed there as well now. Got a new regs boat coming up. We're going to race him up to level 4. It's going to stay at level 4. We're not going to spend 8 mil this season to upgrade it to level 5. Rear wing is done, so we've got 2 spares on that now. Let's dive into the inbox. So, minor or moderates? Go for moderate, because that'll hurt the top guys more than it'll hurt us. I mean, it'll still hurt us, but it'll hurt them more. And let's see how the rest of the grid decides to vote. Team Hub now is at level 4 as well, and it's 6.5 mil to push that up to the next level. We're not going to do that. We're going to try and focus as much as we can this season on developing the car. So we're going to do a lot of intense builds on our designs this year to try and really ratchet up the expertise this season, so that we can hopefully build a much stronger car next year. Strategy prep, it's going to be hot in Bahrain, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Maybe we could think about potentially stealing a one-stop out of that, although the hard tyres are really not good pace-wise around Bahrain. I don't know, maybe we could even try a one-stop mediums to softs if it's going to be hot and we look after them. That might be the way to go. But that is tomorrow's problem to decide upon. So that's where our car currently stands. Let's create a save and let's dive into the inbox, not the inbox, sorry, the editor, and take a look. So let's open up a browser. Let's dive into the database editor. And I'm not sure which save I need, so let's have a look, see which is the most recent. Save 20. Is save 20 on the list? It is. There it is. So we go to calendar. Yeah, Bahrain, the next Grand Prix. There we go. So, performance-wise, Red Bull, this is in terms of development. You can see Red Bull are top ahead of Ferrari, but not by much. Then it's Mercedes just ahead of us. Big development upgrade has dropped for Lotus. Aston, that's Force India. They've actually gone backwards a little bit. We've got a gain for Sauber. And small losses for Toro Rosso and Williams, and both Marussia and Caterham have both got small improvements. But what's actually fitted? Let's see. So we're 7th and 8th now. So we're still 7th with Schumacher's car, but Button's jumped up from 10th to 8th. We've overtaken the Lotus, and we've got a nice, healthy performance total over them of nearly 4%, and we're within about 3% or so of the Red Bulls now with both cars, so that'll help. But again, it's all about where the car is strong compared to where we're going. Let's have a quick look at the circuit. And the circuit layout favors a mixture of corners. I would say high speed is probably a little bit more important. Well, high and low speed probably are the most important here. Less so on the mediums, but Let's see how we stack up against everyone else on the high and low. So, we're second in low speed. We're fifth in high speed, fifth in the medium speed as well. Red Bull looking mighty in high speed. Look at that, 74% compared to our 60. They are very, very good there. But we've got good DRS. We've got good dirty air. We've got good acceleration as well as low speed performance. That's a really nice combination to have for those tight hairpins. And pretty decent speed as well. So we're in with a decent shout. Lotus don't have great speed in comparison. They're down 5.5%. They also don't have very good low speed performance. They are down 15% nearly. They've got decent, sorry, that's acceleration. Low speed performance, they're down just a tiny bit to us. They are better than us in the medium, and they're slightly better than us in the high speed. But yeah, I think with a combination of speed, DRS, and acceleration, we've got a definite edge over Lotus for tomorrow. So let's see if that actually plays out. Of course, we could be completely wrong. But going by this data, it does look like we've got a better car than Lotus for the next Grand Prix. So maybe we could even mix it up with one or two of the other top teams a little bit as well. So that's it for tonight. When we come back tomorrow at the same time, 8 p.m, we will be taking on the Bahrain Grand Prix. Hopefully I will see you there for that. If you have enjoyed tonight's race and you haven't already done so, then a thumbs up is always appreciated. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed. Click on the bell for notifications and live stream starts. And if you're on mobile, apparently hype is a thing. I have no idea how it's done, but if you know how to do it and you're on a mobile device, add some hype, maybe. It will help, apparently. And yeah, let your friends know as well. Share it amongst people that are like-minded and will enjoy this content. And until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim Bob, and I'll be back with more F1 Manager very soon.